Hey, Brooke here. Why do people ghost? One day you're texting, joking, maybe even making plans, and then the next, nothing. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. Your last message just sits there, unanswered. So you check the chat again. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they had a convenient accident. But deep down, you know the truth. They didn't disappear. They just stopped replying. Ghosting has become one of the strangest social behaviors in the digital age. Entire relationships, friendships, dating, the chat on Facebook Marketplace can end without a word. And for the person being ghosted, it can feel confusing, personal, and sometimes even cruel. But psychologically, ghosting often says less about the person being ghosted and more about the person doing the ghosting. To understand why, we have to talk about something that humans are surprisingly bad at: conflict. Psychologists have long studied what we call avoidant coping, a strategy where people deal with uncomfortable situations by avoiding them rather than confronting them. Instead of having a difficult conversation, the brain looks for an easier path. And in the past, avoiding someone wasn't so simple. If you stopped talking to someone in your social circle, you'd eventually run into them. The social cost of disappearing was high, but in the digital world, you can simply stop replying. The conversation doesn't have to end with a dramatic goodbye, and the person on the other end is left trying to interpret the silence. Psychologist Roy Baumeister, who studied rejection and belonging, found that social rejection can activate some of the same brain systems involved in physical pain, which explains why something as simple as a message left unanswered can feel more intense than it logically should. Another reason ghosting happens is because of something psychologists call cognitive load. Every message we send carries a small psychological weight. What should I say? How do I phrase this? Will they react badly? Sometimes people don't ghost because they're trying to hurt someone. They ghost because they don't know how to explain themselves. Writing a message like, "Hey, I don't think this is working out," seems simple, but to the brain, it's a social risk, and humans are wired to avoid social rejection, even when we're the ones doing the rejecting. So instead, the brain chooses the easiest option: do nothing. But ghosting also reveals something interesting about how digital communication has changed relationships. When interactions happen through a screen, people often feel slightly less responsible for the emotions of others. Psychologists call this online disinhibition, the tendency for people to behave differently online than they would face-to-face. It's where the term keyboard warrior stemmed from, and it also applies to ghosting. But there's also another psychological factor at play: choice overload. Dating apps, social media, and constant connectivity creates the sense that there are always more options just one swipe away. When people feel surrounded by endless possibilities, they sometimes treat relationships as temporary or replaceable. Why have an awkward conversation that you don't actually really care about when you can simply just move on? But ghosting isn't always about cruelty. Sometimes it's about discomfort. Sometimes it's about anxiety. Sometimes it's about just not knowing what to say. And sometimes it's about the quiet convenience of modern communication. A world where conversations can end without confrontation. So the next time someone ghosts you, it's easy to interpret it as a sign of your worth. But psychologically, it's not about you. It's about a brain choosing the easiest exit. Like what your weird brain just learned? Consider subscribing. Oh, you didn't? Well, that's okay. I'll just assume you're ghosting me, and in that case, it's not me, it's you.